Welcome back. A small business boom during COVID. Entrepreneurs are finding opportunity in North Dakota, among other places. Business there at pre-pandemic levels. Fox Business Chief National Correspondent Connell McShane is in Bismarck this morning with more. Good morning to you, Connell.
Hey, good morning, Maria. You know, small business, as we know, took such a hit back in the spring of 2020. But now that some time has passed, what we're starting to see emerge now are these stories of gutsy entrepreneurs in places like North Dakota willing to take the risk. I mean, think about what the biggest pandemic purchase was for so many families, mine included, by the way. A new dog, right? And for Jan Jers, who we met here in Bismarck, she looked at that and she says, all right, this is the time I'm going to start myself a business, a doggy daycare business that also doubles as a training site for the pups.
I didn't think about it a lot. I knew that people were getting puppies and, you know, the rescues, they were talking about how they were emptying out. Everybody was getting these rescue dogs. So I just knew there was a need for it.
And she took advantage of a small business administration loan program. She's building up her business now. It's called Pawz Enrichment Center. You see there, P-A-W-Z, right? Now, Sandy Jacobson took the leap as well with her husband. They opened up Brick Oven Bakery. This was late 2019, so she figured she'd be in trouble when things started to shut down. But they had a drive-through window. That really helped. And the fresh pastries they make at this place, they develop what seems like kind of a cult following here in the local area. They're so popular. And now we have another thriving small business here in North Dakota.
We just are that kind of a community where we want to support small. And I mean, we had people coming through during the pandemic that maybe didn't want our pastries, but they would buy a $100 gift card just because. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, is just our community just really like pulls together in times like this.
You know, the local SPA was telling us there are about 1,200 more North Dakota small businesses now than pre-pandemic, which is a big deal in a state where 98% of the businesses are considered to be small, fewer than 500 employees. And, you know, part of it may be that community atmosphere that you just heard about. Part of it as well, this state never really completely closed to business. When the national unemployment rate was approaching 15%, it was 8.5% here in North Dakota. And for the entrepreneurs who we've met, who are willing to get in, take that risk at what seemed like the riskiest of times, the reward for them now is pretty sweet. Maria?
I love it, Connell. Are there things that the North Dakota leadership did to attract small businesses to go open shop there? Are there other things that you could point to that actually have succeeded in doing that in North Dakota?
Yeah. I think a little bit. I mean, number one, this is a business-friendly climate to begin with, even in the best of times. The taxes are relatively low, and they're open for business. And I think that's maybe the larger point here. You see states, in North Dakota, of course, more spread out than other states, that didn't completely close down. Then you weren't digging yourself out of as big of a hole. And some of the businesses found that climate was easier for them. And again, small business is a way of life out here. So starting a business, and some of these people we met, they've dreamed about doing this for years. They said to themselves, all right, I'm just going to go for it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm going to go for it. That's what they did at the bakery, and it's working out great.
I love it. Connell, thanks so much. Connell McShane joining us in Bismarck. Right. Joe Concha, your thoughts here. I was in North Dakota recently because J.P. Morgan Chase opened an office there and a branch. And that was something that Jamie Dimon told me about as well, this can-do entrepreneurialism in North Dakota. J.P. Morgan wants to be there to bank all of that business. And remember, something we say on this show all the time, Joe, money is mobile. Small business will go where their money is treated best.
Right, and technology allows people to work anywhere, anytime, right? Before, maybe that wasn't the case. You had to go to a big office in New York or Los Angeles or Chicago. And now we're seeing mass exoduses out of California, New York, Democratic-run states because of high taxes, rising crime. People are saying adios. You look at North Dakota's unemployment rate, 3.6%. Compare that to California, they're at 7.5%. It's nearly double that. So, yeah, why not move to North Dakota? I have a feeling you can get a little more bang for your buck when buying a house there than you could, say, in Jersey, where I live.
That's a great point on unemployment, Ryan.
Yeah, it is. And also, I just mentioned that it's actually a national phenomenon. If you look at last year during the pandemic, we had a record amount of new business applications in the U.S. It was like something like 4.5 million, which was the heart of the pandemic. And that was like 25% more than the year before, which just speaks to, in America, we do have that entrepreneurial spirit. being an entrepreneur, I just love that people always find a way. Necessity is the mother of invention, and so many cool technologies and businesses have come out of COVID. More the positive side of it, and I think that's just bodes really, really well for the economy long term, as I'm always optimistic on America.
All right. Quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.